Good evening. Here is the news at 6. First, the highlights. Lagos State government compensates Dosumu market fire disaster victims. Police Service Commission promotes 684 senior officers under foreign and Russian troops to leave Burkina Faso to reinforce Ukraine's war efforts. In sport, CAF names Egyptian official Amin Omar as referee for 2025 AFCON qualifier between Nigeria and Benin Republic. Now, the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Lagos State government has presented checks to compensate victims of the Somu fire disaster at Lagos Island after a proper enumeration of the people affected. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who performed the official symbolic presentation of bank checks to the victims at Lagos Island, said the gesture is fulfillment of the promise made by the state government. The governor had earlier promised while on an assessment visit to the site of the fire incident which occurred on 9th of April due to suspected illegal fuel storage that the state government would provide succor to affected traders to help them back on their feet. The traders affected were compensated in 3 categories of 2.5 million naira, 1.5 million naira, and 750,000 naira, according to the enumeration process. Lagos State government is in partnership with the UN Women has advocated an advancement in capacity building and financial empowerment for women through affirmative procurement reforms. Speaking at a media forum in Alausa, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who was represented by his special advisor, Media and Publicity Gbega Koshile, noted that the state government is in tandem with more women representation in every sector of policy making, including bidding for contracts.
For all the women here, you are in a better step now to come forward and bid for contracts in government. Don't be afraid of those men with all the money, all the connection. You have a government, you have an agency that will handhold you and will make sure that they support you, that you will fully be empowered.
Director General of the Lagos State Public Procurement Agency, Fatayo Nofowote, said the policy sits well with the Themes Plus agenda of the Sanwo-Olu administration aimed at correcting long-standing policies that have marginalized women in business.
We are also happy to note that this policy sits properly with the Themes Plus agenda of Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, with the plus speaking to gender equality, women empowerment, and youth empowerment. The gender responsive policy that we are discussing today is not just a document. It is a pioneering effort to correct the long-standing imbalances that have marginalized women entrepreneurs from accessing public procurement opportunities.
Head of Communications, UN Women, Anthony Abu, commended the media for constant advocacy, noting that lives of girls and women get better with economic empowerment and financial capacity for them to achieve their goals. On her part, the focal person of UN Women in Lagos State Public Procurement Agency, Adiola Sanwo, said plan is in the pipeline to obtain an executive order to mandate ministries, departments, and agencies of government to be responsive to the gender-responsive procurement policy to prioritize women-owned businesses in Lagos State.
We want to obtain the executive order for the GRP. This is a critical component of this policy document. This will mandate all ministries, departments, and agencies to prioritize women-owned, women-led business in Lagos State. At least it is coming from the governor, then it has come to stand.
Song also advocated the establishment of gender desk office to assist women-owned led businesses to bid for and obtain contracts to bridge the percentage gap in the state. The Lagos State House of Assembly has officially recognized and congratulated Prince Tajuddin Olusi for receiving an honorary doctorate degree from Lagos State University, LASU. This prestigious accolade highlights Dr. Olusi's significant contributions to society and his exemplary leadership. In a statement released by the Chairman House Committee on Information Strategy and Security, Stephen Ogundikpe, the Assembly praised Dr. Olusi as a beacon of visionary leadership, a father figure, and a lifelong advocate for community development. The Assembly's commendation reflects the high regard in which he has held within the community and his enduring impact on the lives of many. Dr. Olusi's journey has been marked by a commitment to public service and a dedication to uplifting those around him. His recent recognition by LASU is a testament to his tireless effort and the positive influence he has exerted over the years. Now to the rest of the stories. The Police Service Commission, PSC, has promoted no fewer than 684 senior police officers to their next ranks. Among those promoted are 8 commissioners of police who were elevated to the rank of Assistant Inspectors General of Police, while 15 deputy commissioners of police were promoted to commissioners of police. In addition, 52 chief superintendents of police were promoted to assistant commissioners of police. 525 superintendents of police were promoted to the rank of chief superintendents of police, and 84 deputy superintendents were promoted to superintendents of police. A statement by the PSC's head of press and public relations, Ikechukwu Ani, said the promotion was approved at the first plenary meeting of the new board of the commission held on Friday. To ensure organizational survival and protection of workers' interests, employers of labor, employees, and other stakeholders must modify the me syndrome and embrace the growth mindset. Managing Director of NISREL Consulting, Okwe Amushon, gave the submission at the launch of a book titled Workers' Interest and Organizational Survival: Modern Roles of Trade Unionism for National Development. Amushon, who spoke on the topic Attitudinal Change and a Positive Mindset about Work, opined that mindset is the pedestal to greatness, and employees and employers must possess the characteristics of a positive mindset, such as optimism, conscious, mindfulness, acceptance, resilience, gratitude, and integrity.
An average Nigerian worker, like Riley said, the thing is money, 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 but there are many things that are beyond money. Number one, you must have pride in what you are doing. If there's no pride in what you are doing, you are wasting your time. Then are you contributing to national development? For instance, whatever you are doing, you must have that at the back of your mind. Am I contributing? Am I being relevant? Am I mentoring others? Who are you mentoring? If it's just for you to work, take your salary and go home, what happens when you retire?
In his welcome address, National President, Radio, Television, Theatre and Art Workers Union of Nigeria, Taiwo Baruwa, who was represented by the National Secretary Adewale Akonde, described the title of the book as apt, while calling on government at all levels to practice participatory democracy, which gives room for divergence of opinions on social issues.
Interest is a key ingredient in the struggle for the survival of the labor movement in Nigeria. This statement is predicated on the following. Firstly, the clamor for the new minimum wage, which is approved but not yet implemented, is premised on workers' interest, welfare, and well-being. Secondly, social dialogue, which should be the fulcrum between the employer and the employee, is basically about workers' interests.
In their remarks, Executive Secretary Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, Yemisi Bangbushi, and General Manager, Lagos Traffic Radio, Taiwo Baruwa, commended the author of the book for providing insight on labor and the matters of national interest, of national development. Earlier, author of the book and National Vice President of Ratau Southwest Zone, Dare Durosimi, said the book seeks to address evolving landscape of unionism, bridge the engagement gap between employers and employees, and proffer practical solutions to labor matters.
My advice to labor leaders and workers is this: the engagement between employee and employer has actually changed over time since we've had COVID-19 pandemic. Then it shows that people can work from home. There is a new thing, there's a new workplace. So that means there's an emerging way of us engaging with our employer, not the way we used to do it, banging the table. But now we can engage our employer. We have to be proactive, not reactive to their policy. We make sure that we want to let them know what we feel on time before they now take a policy that will affect us.
Our reporter Adewale Olokoroku reports that a panel of discussion consisting labor leaders, academics, and employees of labor critically examined the issues raised in the book, advocating the buy-in of employers and policymakers into the tips and suggestions penned down by the author, with the aim of creating a proactive workforce. In foreign news, Russia is withdrawing 108 paramilitary officers from Burkina Faso to help in the war in Ukraine. We are part of about 300 soldiers from the Bear Brigade, a Russian private military company who arrived in the West African nation in May to support the country's military junta. On its Telegram channel, the group said its forces would return home to support Russia's defense against Ukraine's recent offensive in the Kursk region. There are fears the pullout could embolden Islamist insurgents in Burkina Faso, who recently killed up to 300 people in one of the biggest attacks in years. In sport now, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has selected Egyptian official Amin Omar as referee for next week's 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match between Nigeria's Super Eagles and the Cheetahs of Benin Republic. Omar will be in company of compatriot Mahmoud Abu Ragal, Ahmad Taha, and Hamid El Gando as the three-time African champions confront a team coached by former Nigeria manager Gennett Roa. CAF also appointed Ghanaian official Monkaila Adam as commissioner, with Fatou Gaye from Senegal to serve as referee assessor and Ivorian Ate Elo in the role of security officer. The encounter, scheduled for the Gatula Pabio Stadium, Uyo, on September 7, will kick off at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And that's it on the news at 6. But just before we go, your vehicle is not a strong room. Keep your valuables out of view of miscreant. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration provided 450,000 pupils with e-learning devices? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government has presented checks to compensate victims of Dosomo fire disaster at Lagos Island after a proper enumeration of people affected. The Police Service Commission has promoted no fewer than 684 senior police officers to their next ranks. We also told you that Russia is withdrawing 100 of 8 paramilitary officers from Burkina Faso to help in the war in Ukraine. Finally, in sport, the Confederation of African Football (CAF) has selected Egyptian official Amin Omar as referee for next week's 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match between Nigeria's Super Eagles and the Cheetahs of Benin Republic. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adirayo Idowolaya. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good evening.